Hello, hello. It is AstroCoach Sarah here, otherwise known as Admiral Sarah here for your cosmic briefing for the full new moon in Aries. This is happening on April 17th, but what I'm going to tell you is that from the 10th of April moving forward, the energy is going to be hot because we will have between the 10th and I don't even know when it stops, to be honest, but I will say from the 10th on, we will have at least 6 planets. And from the 15th through the 17th, we will have 7 planets in Aries. Okay. And that's just of like the meat and potatoes planets. That's not all of the potential asteroids and dwarf planets and things like that. Needless to say, there's a lot of fucking Aries. Okay. If you are not a fan of fire signs, um, be a little bit more conscientious of what your nervous system needs. What do I mean by all of that? If you're not a fan of fire signs, you're probably not somebody who moves quickly through processes, through life, through day-to-day things like you need to singular task as opposed to multitask, or you need a break between this appointment and that appointment because you need to process what the hell just happened in that appointment before you can prepare yourself for the next appointment. Okay. Maybe you're somebody who needs to people a little less often. So going to the grocery store or going to an event with a lot of people is overstimulating to you. These are typically the types of people who don't do well in fire signs, or any kind of fast-paced energy. Okay. So I put it in my newsletter that I just sent out on today is April 6th. Be aware and conscientious of your nervous system regulation and what you need. Okay. So first, I'm going to tell you that use this momentum because it's a lot of momentum energy from the 10th of April on, particularly around this new moon, which is the 17th. And then after the new moon, moving forward, it's going to be a lot of fast-paced energy. You are not missing out on anything. You were designed the way that you are designed. However, so like two things, right? Take the wave of momentum and use it to move things forward, but don't be critical of yourself if you have to go at your comfortable pace. That being said, have somebody in your corner like a coach or a therapist who can light a fire under your butt to help you move things forward. Okay? This is not this isn't energy to take lightly. This is going to be the most momentum energy we're going to see in all of 2026. It's not the only time, it's the most. Because nothing is in retrograde. Everything is moving forward. Mercury is direct. Mars and Venus are direct. All the outer planets are currently direct. That changes in May. We'll get there when we get there. But for right now, what you need to know is everything is direct and it's all going to be moving into Aries. So it's going to feel fast. But just because it's moving fast doesn't mean you have to move 110 miles an hour. Are there people who are going to move 110 miles an hour? Yes. That does not mean that you have to. I am not somebody who can move quickly. Okay. I need breaks. I need water. I get hangry. I can't multitask. And I have learned these things about myself and I honor those things about myself. Okay. So I'm extra conscientious of that. However, I do want to use this energy to move things forward. So I'm already putting things into place to move things forward for myself in the direction that I want to go ahead of the book coming out. Okay. There are deadlines for the book. Okay. You guys have heard me talk about the book for a long time. We're getting there. I promise. There are deadlines for it coming up very fucking quickly. So but what I'm saying is like use the momentum when you can, where you can to move things forward in the direction that you want to go. But don't be hard on yourself, beat yourself up when you can't go 110 miles an hour. Number one, people who are going 110 miles an hour are probably skipping on shadow work, emotional processing and things like that. I'm not saying that they are because I know that there's people out there who can move that quickly and they've probably done a fuck ton of shadow work and emotional intelligence work to get there. But there's a sizable amount of people who don't do shadow work, don't do emotional intelligence work, so they don't even know how to process, so they don't realize that they're bypassing the important things. Okay. So don't beat yourself up if you have to move slower. Go at your pace, although keep a fire under your ass so that you can continue to move things forward. The 15th through the 17th, there's going to be 7 planets in Aries. Okay. We're going to have Mercury, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, the sun, Chiron, and the moon, because we're going to have a new moon on the 17th, all in Aries. This is a lot of fire. Be very conscientious of your body's temperature level. Okay. Make sure that you're staying hydrated. Make sure that you're cooling off your system. Think about yourself as a computer. Your computer has a fan for a reason. Okay. You're a computer. You need to stay cool. Okay. If you overheat, if you're wearing too many layers that day, whatever it is, be conscientious of that. Drink some water, take a deep breath, cool your system back off. Also, nourish yourself appropriately. Eat some cooling things like fruit, have some mint tea. I have become so addicted to citrus mint green tea. I can't even tell you. I don't know. It started last summer as a hydration thing, and now I'm like addicted to it. So citrus mint, green tea. But any kind of mint tea, peppermint tea will cool you. Spearmint specifically will cool you, and calm you down. Peppermint is great for calming the nervous system. I use peppermint on my feet at night when I go to bed to calm my nervous system, slow my brain down, all of those sorts of things. So be attentive to your system and what you need, and don't hesitate to take time to have a drink of water, to, consume some fruit, to consume something that will cool you off, or to take off a layer of clothing, your sweatshirt. It's spring, so I get it. It's hard to dress in the morning because by the afternoon it's 70 degrees. Be attentive to your body temperature. Be attentive to when you need to eat, when you need to take a drink, when you need to take a breath to process things. Okay. I promise you can't fuck this up unless you take zero action whatsoever. Um, but we can't, you're not going to lose this energy. I promise. If you're watching this video, you've probably already done some stuff to prepare for this energy. Rest when you need to rest. Take time. Move your freaking body. Get outside, take a walk, cool off, move your body. This is a lot of energy, a lot at once. Move your body. Get a walk in. Yes, walking, running, swimming, cycling, those are all great. I also recommend doing things like stretching, doing things that like Pilates, like challenges your brain as well as your physical body. You want to do things that because like running, swimming, walking, cycling, those are all great, but they're meditative, meaning they're repetitive, where you want to be doing something that's a bit more dynamic, to actually move energy through your body. Okay. Because this energy can get stuck and then you'll overheat, and that's no fun. What else? Be aware of things like sharps, and that's anything from injectables to knives to you break something and it has a sharp edge. Like, be aware of sharps. Aries and Mars are sharp cutting energy. So accidents could occur with this much Aries energy, specifically through the 15th through the 17th. Okay. Um, and even after the 10th, because Mars will enter Aries. And then you've got like a lot of risk of, accidents and things like that. Um, what else? So be aware of sharp instruments, things like that. I mean, seriously, you could stab yourself with an ink pen. Like that's it could happen, okay? If you do move your body and work out, don't overexert. This is not a time to overexert and go hard, okay? This is actually a time to be more conscientious how much you move your body and how often, and like all of those sorts of things. What else? Like I said, just be aware that if others look like they're going 110 and you're only going like 80, you're okay. Okay. Because we can all feel a little less than because we can't go as fast as everybody else. But not all of us is meant to go at that pace, because we do need time to actually calm down and regulate our nervous system and regulate and recenter our energy and things like that. So It's okay. I can also tell you once Mercury moves into Aries after the 14th, 15th, people won't be nice. Okay. Maybe you haven't noticed, or maybe you have noticed people are not attentive to other people. Like people don't hold doors, people don't just like plow right through you. Those sorts of things. People are not going to be nice. We're done with the Pisces compassionate energy. People aren't going to be nice. I'm not saying that it's a good thing. I'm saying that that's just the energy that we're in. I think everyone's also going to be either in their own world doing what they're doing, or they're spiraling because they're freaking out about all of the fear mongering that's going on. Combination of two things. And so really don't be surprised if, people are just extra, okay? And you even could be the one that's extra. People could be more just cutthroat with their words and telling you like it is and all of that. And hopefully they're doing it in a way that's kind and compassionate and not in a way that's, bitch, get your shit together. Because I don't know. If there's somebody who cares about you, I don't think it should come out rude or disrespectful or like you're not doing enough. I think that if people care about you, they're going to tell you like it is, but they're going to use words that support you and make you feel like you're cared about and loved and not that you are being trampled on. So that's just me. Anyway, so be attentive to Aries, depending on where you have Aries in your chart. This quote could affect you differently. If you have Aries in like your second house or your eighth house, this could be about money. This could be about other people's money. If you have Aries in your uh, well, Aries would be your eighth house, Libra would be your second house. Sorry, I didn't clarify that. But seriously, I guess if you have Aries in your second house, it's still about money and earthly possessions and things like that. You could break things like that. If you have Aries in your sixth house, Scorpio rising, like me, it could be about working out and health routines and daily routines and work habits. And by the way, I'm super focused on getting some stuff moving forward in the work sector of my life. Um, Not to be intruded by things happening in my home life. So, um, but yeah, so there's going to be a lot of energy. This new moon, however, on the 17th, first of all, this is a lot. This new moon is hot. It's heated. Okay. You're going to want to pay attention to your body temperature. You're going to want to pay attention to your surroundings because if tempers are heated, things happen when people are heated up, right? Okay. Remember summers in August when like there's more violence than any other time of year? This is gonna be like that. It's gonna be like summer in August when everyone's friggin' hot and tempers are raging and flaring. And remember, a lot of people are pissed about what's going on in the world. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. The wilder and the more chaotic the events of the world get, okay, we got high gas prices. We're going to have therefore subsequent high resource prices like food and everything like that. It's all gonna, that's why, people are like, why do you pay attention to gas prices? You don't even drive. No, but I know how much it costs to fuel a truck. And if there's trucks not out on the road moving, then I don't get things delivered, including groceries, including my Amazons, and anything else that I order online. So be attentive to gas prices. They're going up. They're really bad. They were literally under $3 where I live like 3 months ago, and now they're over $4. Be attentive to that, even if you're a blind person and you don't drive. Know what your gas prices are. Okay. You can look on Google Maps. It'll show you if you press the gas button at the top, it'll show you the area, like the gas prices around where you live. So even if you don't drive, know where the gas prices are around you so that you know what people are paying to fuel their truck, fuel their vehicle that's driving you somewhere, so that you can, be more attentive maybe with your tip for your rideshare driver, or maybe you're more attentive to helping somebody fill up their tank. Okay. These are, yeah. Um, but remember that the crazier, the wilder, the more chaos that's going on in the world. And by the way, it's just beginning. Okay. The more possibility, potential there is for you to move shit forward, move yourself forward. This world ain't going to calm down anytime soon. We're not even quite there yet because Uranus is not in Gemini until the end of April. So we'll talk about that in another video. Once we get Uranus and Gemini, look the fuck out. That is pure air and fire. Pluto in Aquarius, air. Neptune and Saturn in Aries, fire. Uranus and Gemini, air. By June, Jupiter, which is a fiery planet anyway, moves into Leo, fire. Fire and air. Okay? So things are going to start moving pretty damn quickly. Again, don't make it seem like you have to move at an accelerated pace. If you can, good. If you have the recovery and the stability and the, resources that you need to move faster, move faster. If you don't, get support where you can so that you can at least move things forward. Okay? Not everybody goes at the same pace. All right, I think I've beaten that dead horse. Let's take a look at the chart for the new moon on the 17th, and then I do have tarot and I do have oracle for this week's video. So 1 second. What the hell? Okay, sorry about that. I misunderstood the cues from my screen reader. I don't know what the heck happened. So anyway, all right. Tech is fun. Okay. All right, so this new moon in Aries peaks on April 17th. It's going to peak at 6:51 a.m. Central Time, so adjust for your time zone. And if you look on the, what is that, the left-hand side of the chart, you see the planet pile up in Aries. We got Neptune at 2 degrees, Mercury at 3 degrees, sorry. Mercury at 3 degrees, Mars at 5 degrees, Saturn at 7, Chiron at 26. The moon at 27 and the sun at 27. That's a lot of Aries, guys. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things, 7 bodies in Aries. And this isn't including like asteroids, dwarf planets, and all that. I'm sticking with the meat and potatoes here. But just know that there are other energies here. But we're going to work with just this for y'all. We also have Venus at the bottom. If you look even further down, you got Venus at 21 and Uranus at 29 of Taurus. So Uranus is at that final degree of Taurus. Is kind of his last hurrah in Taurus. So if you really want to have some fun, take a look back at your life from 2018 until now, and what have you learned? What has been like shifted upside down, inside out, and sideways? What got a shakeup? For me, I'm a Scorpio rising. This was my friendship, relationship, partnership house. And holy cow, did Uranus put me through it in so many ways. But I can tell you that I have learned boundaries. I have learned what types of people I enjoy, and I have learned quality over quantity. That having good people and good food, good coffee, good tea is more important to me than having like a ton of anything or a lot of anything. I'd rather have, nice looking clothes or clothes that, fit my personality than clothes just to have clothes. Um, so anyway, quality over quantity. But anyway, what have you learned since 2018 about yourself in sort of a money, possessions, food indulgences type of way, right? There was a time back in 2021 when I did 75 hard and I eliminated sugar during that. And I also lost I think I lost close to 20 pounds in 2021, but I was so restricted with my food. I'm like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to be like that. So I do, meal prep, and I do, you know, limit my snacking and sugar, but I'm also a huge fan of Oreos, ice cream, and peanut butter cups, not necessarily Reese's, because there are better peanut butter cups. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what did Uranus like flip upside down, inside out, and sideways? And what have you learned? Like, yeah, I could cut weight, but I then can't enjoy, indulgences, and that's important, right? I don't overindulge. I did get sober with Uranus and Taurus. In fact, I can tell you exactly what the transit was. It was Mars. in Mars conjunct Uranus with the North Node in Taurus. This was back in July of 2022. I believe it was 17 degrees, so it was pretty well opposite my moon in Scorpio. And I just made a decision that day that if I wanted to be more Uranian, and follow that North Node in Taurus, I just quit drinking. And I have zero regrets. I don't miss drinking at all. 100% don't miss it. Um, so 2018 till now, what have you learned? What did Uranus flip upside down? All of those sorts of things. Could have been a belief system, could have been a mindset thing, could have been, what you appreciate, what you enjoy, that kind of thing. So anyway, we'll talk about Uranus in another video, but that's kind of what's closing out, the last kind of thing that's closing out in this chart. Meanwhile, this new moon at 27 degrees with Chiron. Now, if you remember, we had a new moon solar eclipse in the United States. I mean, it was everywhere, but we saw it in the United States in 2024. It was at 19 degrees of Aries. It was conjunct Uranus. And here we are again. We have a new moon in Aries, not an eclipse. However, it's conjunct Uranus. This time it's at 27 degrees. What's the difference? Okay. So each zodiac sign has 30 degree points, right? 0 through 29. Within those degree points, we have three separate sections called decans. So 0 through 9, 10 through 19, 20 through 29, okay? That eclipse back in 2024 was at 19. That was within the Sun or Leo decan of Aries, right? I'm the star of the show, right? And the Sun is exalted in Aries. This one is in the Jupiter or Sagittarius decan of Aries. Where are we going? What have we healed and where are we going? Chiron, the wounded healer. Maybe you have healed some wounds since then. You've faced some shadowy shit since then. You've kind of re-identified yourself. Very Aries-esque energy. And now you're ready to move forward. You've shifted a belief system. You have shifted how you believe in yourself. You've shifted your philosophy. I no longer trust the government. I'm going to do my own thing. I no longer trust the medical industry. I'm now going to follow my own research and dive down the rabbit holes, right? Whatever. It doesn't have to be any of those. Maybe you've shifted something else. Okay. Maybe you've broken up with your religious beliefs and you have found your way to a different philosophical, spiritual path to follow as far as religion. Jupiter is religion, or yeah, religion, dogma, all those sorts of things. So it could be any number of things. What have you learned since 2024 when it was all about the sun and you, now it's where are you going to go with it? Okay. So I would say as we head into, I mean, this is peaking on the morning of the 17th, but the 15th and the 16th for sure, you're really going to want to pay attention to all those things I talked about with regards to all this fire energy. It's going to be a darkening moon. This could be a very headache-inducing new moon because Aries rules the head. This could mean sinus congestion because Mars co-rules Scorpio, which is sinuses, and congestion. This could mean something to do with your upper jaw, which I don't know about anybody else, but like when my sinuses are inflamed, sometimes my upper teeth hurt, just because the pressure on the roots of my teeth. But this could have anything to do with the head and or blood flow, that sort of thing. So put some pieces together there, you can kind of get where I might be talking about. I talked about overexerting at the gym or overexerting and being overheated. Those sorts of things could be very real and they could have effects that are not so grand. So watch your hydration, watch how much like alcohol and caffeine you take in because those two things are dehydrating and cause other problems too. I mean, alcohol affects everything. But now that we have Neptune in Aries, really watch any kind of liquid mind altering substance or body altering substance. So that could be anything from alcohol, that could be injectable things, that could be, um, yeah, I think I'll leave it at that because I think you get the idea. Um, so yeah, with Neptune now in Aries, we do need to be more aware of the effect of certain liquids and how they affect our bodies. Um, so yeah, this new moon, is it even? Well, I was trying to see if it's even aspecting. Where are we at? The nodes are at 7 degrees, so they're moving forward. We haven't even talked about the nodes since we're out of eclipse season. Oh, funny, I should mention Neptune squaring Hegea down in Cancer, down at the bottom, and I mentioned the medication thing or the liquids thing. So Hegea is an asteroid that is about healing and healing treatments or techniques. So interesting that I mention um, about liquids and injectables and whatnot. Um, Hegea is a part of this chart by squaring Neptune in Aries. Interesting. So yeah, I would not gonna lie, this could be an OD type situation. And it may not be like an OD on what you would suspect, but it could be an OD on something that is prescribed. I'm gonna leave it at that. Or like something's contaminated, perhaps. That could be a thing. All right, I'm getting away from that topic because I could go down a rabbit hole. Anyway, so yeah. So I would say, with this new moon, it's like, what have you healed? What have you addressed? And now you're ready to move it forward. Now, I'm going to tell you that a couple of days after this, Mars is moving on a conjunction to Saturn, which Mars and Saturn conjunctions are not fun. They're both malefics. They wreak havoc. Saturn is at full in Aries, and Mars is at home in Aries. So, Mars is warrior-esque energy, and Saturn's trying to hold everybody down into some sort of control situation. But he doesn't have the strength that he normally has. So, that happens on the 19th. It's so you may feel like um this may feel like you get like a running start, but you feel a little constricted right as you get into forward momentum. Give this one time to play out. Globally, I think this is going to be an event, but I think for our personal lives, like I feel like it's going to be like you're going to get a slow start, but it's not going to hang out very long. It's just going to have you look and see what that Uranus is cleaning up really quick. So it's kind of like you're going to have the new moon, right? You're going to feel a little heat, you're going to feel a little momentum, you're going to get things going. By the 19th, you're going to feel like, what the fuck did I even do? Um, Look around, see what that Taurus situation, your earthy things are about, right? Your material possessions, your food, your indulgences, those sorts of things. Look and see what's going on in that area, and then by then that Mars Saturn will have cleared out, and you can get going forward again. Okay. So it's going to be a little sticky. I promise you by like the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, it's going to be forward momentum and you're going to be wishing Saturn and Mars were like slowing you down again. Um, Again, globally, that Mars Saturn conjunction, not going to be pretty. I don't think it's going to be good. It's in a fire sign. We're already in dicey times and uncertain times. So, I mean, just, be aware of your surroundings, keep yourself alert, attentive, keep your headphones off, put your phone in your pocket. And I'm talking like keep your phone safe, keep your head up. all of those sorts of things so that you're actually aware of your surroundings. So many people walk around with their headphones on and their hood up and they don't even know what's going on around them. So, be aware of that. Just be aware of your surroundings. Not trying to fear monger. I'm trying to just say, like, be attentive to what's going on because not everybody's being attentive right now, and you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself. So, anyway, I like this new moon a really lot, but there is a lot of Aries. So I think that there are definitely some like cautionary, you know, concerns with it. But is it good forward momentum, catapulting us in a new direction? Yes. And in about 9 days from the new moon, when Uranus moves into Gemini, everything's going to start moving forward. Granted, the sun will be in Taurus by then to give us a little bit of stability, but I can tell you right now, the stability, whatever the fuck stability was defined as, is probably well and gone by now. So we're going to have to take every little bit of earthy energy we can get when we can get it because we don't have it. We won't have it for a while. So, because basically, now that we have all of this going on in Aries, by the 26th, Uranus will move into Gemini. That leaves the south node of all things in Virgo. And Virgo isn't exactly like the most grounding, stable energy. So, not that Virgo is bad, just it's not grounded like Capricorn or Taurus would be. So anyway, take advantage of it. Know yourself, know what you need to be stable, know what you need to keep on the wave of momentum, and don't judge yourself if you're not keeping pace with the other people because remember, not everybody's processing and not everybody is dealing with what you're, dealing with their emotions or their shadow or whatever. So, anyway, I hope that was helpful. Let me see. What are we doing? Okay. All right. Lock. All right. Got that locked. Let's look at some tarot for this new moon and some self-care oracle, since I feel like most of us will have a hard time doing our self-care because we're going to be moving so fast. So let's see what's up with the tarot first. Back to the traditional Rider-Waite tarot so I can keep practicing reading tarot. I am not the best tarot reader, but I do kind of like it. It's not like I hate it. I don't feel like I'm very good at it. So let's work on that confidence in myself reading tarot, huh? So I saw a video today on Instagram that basically was talking about how much Aquarius and Scorpio kind of get off on each other. Like Scorpio is like, Aquarius, you're so weird, but I kind of like it. And Aquarius is looking at Scorpio like, you're kind of dark, but I kind of like it. Like it was so funny because I'm like, wait, that's me. I'm a Scorpio, or I'm a Aquarius sun, Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising. All right. I thought it was kind of funny. I also saw a video about why Scorpio or Aquarians and Virgos get together and make fun of the rest of the stupid people in the world. Because and when I tell you that my original astrologer slash coach was a Virgo, like had a ton of Virgo, and I'm an Aquarius, we may or may not have had those types of conversations. All right, what do we got here? We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. She's not so steady with herself right now. She's not so sure of the world. She's not so sure of, you know, Pentacles is about like physical resources, right? It's the earth, right? Um, she's not so sure of herself right now. She's a lot uncertain, and that's kind of going to be the name of the game, right? There's so much uncertainty. going on, and you're going to have to work to find the stability that you need amid the uncertainty of the world. Okay. That's going to be for like the next couple of years, unfortunately. Let's get one more tarot card. I can do it without flipping my cards all around. All right. And we got the 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is a good thing because the 10 of Swords upright is being beat down, but there is forward momentum with the 10 of Swords in reverse. Like you've kind of figured it out. It's uncertain, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, but there is a little bit of clarity coming through about how to move forward. I feel like this is kind of the tail of the take, right? You don't feel beat down anymore. You feel like you have some momentum, but like the uncertainty is like, what do we do with it though? But what do we do with it though? Okay, that's the part that we're all gonna have to kind of problem solve and work together to figure out, right? There isn't gonna be certainty, but you know what you want. You know where you want to be. You know the type of people you want. You know the type of resources that you want. There isn't going to be clarity as to how to get there. One more on the tarot, just for funsies. Um, Four of Pentacles in reverse. Out of balance. That's what this says to me. Wait, is this the four? Hold on, I might have just read that wrong. Yeah, it's the Four of Pentacles in reverse. I thought that was an X, it's a V. Four of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like this is like the out of balance, like something's out of balance with the resources. Yeah. So I mean, this is just saying exactly what the other two are saying. Like this is Saturn and Aries, guys. This is the next few years. Like resources are gonna feel weird. You're not gonna have what you expect or what you feel like you need to have in order to move things forward. It's not gonna happen that way. You're gonna have to like play law of attraction to bring in what you need, whether that is transportation or people or whatever. You're going to have to work the circuit to make that happen. You're probably going to have to be more social and get out more. Me, I know a bunch of us that are hermity type of people. Our hermit days are over if we want to get somewhere. We don't get to be hermits anymore. I am not the only one. I have a bunch of other friends who are total hermits. We like to be at home. We like to not have to deal with other people, except in a controlled environment, because I still have clients and calls and things like that. But we're going to have to get out of our shell and get out of our comfort zone because the things that we thought they're not going to be like readily available and readily present. So you're going to have to work even harder to like have those things be there for you, whatever that looks like for you. And you might have to be a little more vocal about it. In the self-care, we got music, sound healing. I would say this is more referring to sound healing, tuning, forks, crystal, the bowls, singing bowls, things like that. I would definitely, bang your head and scream out to some Chester Bennington, bring some rock and roll back into the mix. That's been, I don't know what's going on with the whole rock and roll thing, but stop listening to fucking Jelly Roll's crazy ass because I don't know what the fuck Ozempic thing he's been shooting up, but get into some rock and roll, bang your head, move the energy, make sure that you're in a safe place to bang your head so you don't like smack yourself and knock yourself out, but like scream out to some Chester. That is my go-to. My go-to is Chester. I love Chester. I just think he's amazing. Um, anyway, but I also love me some hair band, 80s hair band type stuff and some old school rock and shit like that. So, but also this could be using various sound bowl frequencies or tuning fork frequencies to move energy through your body. Also, play some music if you can, create your own drum beats, things like that, because when you do move sound, it does move energy through your body. Let's get another self-care card. So I really like the whole music thing. Get creative, have a little fun. Um, Connect with the earth. Yeah, this could be the card for like the next 3 years is connecting with the earth. You're gonna want to get outside. You're gonna want to be in the sunshine. You're gonna want to touch trees. You're gonna want to do what I did, download the Merlin app and find out what the bird sounds were. I never thought I'd be that person, but I'm that person. But there was like a really loud bird the other day at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, what the fuck is that? So I downloaded the app. It's the Merlin app. And you can like record the bird sound that you hear to find out what kind of bird it is. The cool thing about that is that you can record the bird sound, get to know what the bird is, and then you can like research like what that bird is spiritually messaging you with. So, like, if it's a robin, which this one was a robin, then I can go to the internet and be like, what's the significance of hearing a robin or knowing the presence of a robin? If you hear like a mourning dove, if you hear, whatever. Like some people see, I think for some people it's like ravens or hawks or I don't know. I'm not good with birds, which is why I downloaded the damn app. So if you're outside, you hear bird sounds and you're blind, like me, go download Merlin so that you know what the bird sounds are, and then you can learn what the bird represents and its presence, and what it's trying to tell you, what its message is, all of those sorts of things. So get in touch with the earth, learn about trees, learn about plants, learn about flowers. Even if you can't see them, you can at least learn about flowers and then maybe have some fresh flowers in your home. All of those things. Okay, I'm kind of rambly at this point. But anyway, I hope you found this to be helpful. Please drop a like, comment, share all of the things. I appreciate you all so much. I know I've been gaining a little momentum over on the newsletter. So if you're not over on the newsletter, head over there. That's where a lot of my written content is going. Because I am shifting a lot of stuff right now. The website will be back eventually. I am working on that. There are deadlines for publication stuff. There's programs coming up, all of these things. So I'm one of those people who needs to stop being a hermit and get my shit together. So anyway, I hope this is helpful. My voice is starting to go, so I'm going to tell you to have a great day, happy new moon, and all of that. And I'll talk to you next time.